personal approach to my name. Everyone calls me that. Yes, live stream. Trying to figure out how to turn this fog off on my phone. How do you turn this stupid thing behind me off? I don't want to react. Chat participants.
Good evening, everyone. I want to let you all know that we are blessed. We are blessed tonight. We have someone who's infamous, someone who's out here doing great things. His name is Charlparis Gittens. He's all the way from New Jersey. I'm down here in Mississippi. He's allowing me of just a few moments of his time. He is a barber. He has been in the industry for a little while. He understands what it takes to be successful. He understands about the struggle. He understands about the endurance. He understands about the process. He understands about the importance of training. He understands about the importance of branding. He understands about the importance of making himself available. He understands the importance about truly doing what needs to be done to be successful out here, not just as a barber, but also being successful out here in the business industry. And I want to take a moment to tell Charlparis, thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So talk to us. Tell me, how long have you been in the industry?
All right. So I'm 42 years old. I've been cutting hair since I was 17. I would get licensed in my late 30s. I think I've been licensed now for about 10 years. I finally became a shop owner within like the past 2 years. This is my second attempt at owning a shop. This is my second shop that I've actually, put together myself and everything. And yeah, I've been around quite some time. I'm real proficient with the clippers, but I had a mom who used to teach me how to braid since I was a kid. So I dabble in a lot of things when I'm bored with the clippers. So, but yeah, I've been 17, 42. What's the difference? That's like
you almost 30 years. You got about 25 years in, if my calculation
25 years in.
25 years, yeah. Almost 30 years in, 25 years in.
Yeah.
That's a good amount of time.
It is. It really is. And it's funny because when I'm cutting hair, I get a lot of new people that sit in my chair. And I don't think I charge outlandish prices. I know there are places where things are real high, things are real low. I go by about the average of, the game. So pretty much right now, the average price is anywhere between $40, $45, $50 for a haircut.
Please repeat that again for the people in the back that don't quite comprehend what's going on.
The average price across America, when you actually do the numbers, is about $40, $45, $50 for a cut. I mean, and it's actually going up. It's closer to the $50 mark than anything, but it's in there. And you got a lot of places, I guess, the economics won't allow people, barbers or, professionals to reach what they feel like they're valued at. I'm in an area, something like that, where I've seen barbershops charge $25, and I'm like, I can't do the work I do for $25. I'd be doing myself a disservice if I did the work I did at $25. So I tell you what I'm worth, and I got a lot of people that, make it known, oh, no, you're overcharging. But then when people actually sit down and see what I do for the $45 cut, they're like, oh, and yeah, it's mean. It's a great deal. And then I also have other packages that, go up in price. And people who respect what I do, they'll pay it. So I've just learned to, find my tribe out here because they're out here. There's people willing to pay you good money for a quality cut. So
I checked out your stuff. Now I'm a cosmetologist by trade.
Okay. Likewise.
I'm not gonna say where I work, but I do work in like a franchise corporate setting, and I'm all right with the clippers. I'm all right. I don't try to put myself up there, but I tell people that for instance, we had a gentleman came in the other day. He said, yes, y'all got any barbers? I said, baby, it's not a barbershop. Because technically it's not a barbershop.
Yeah.
Because I already knew when he used the word barber, he wants a razor cut. He wants a razor edge up. He possibly want an enhancement. And I wasn't fixing to try to say that we was something that we was not.
Yeah.
And so, razor lines. You're in New Jersey. I'm down here in Mississippi. I tell people, period, point blank. Anything less than $50, you get a discount on a haircut.
Yeah, for real.
I hadn't
You
even
really
added
are.
a razor line to that. Be personal. And I'm not in a barbershop setting, but I have worked in a full service salon, even though now I'm in a franchise / corporate setting and I'm a trainer. But outside of that, I know what it takes to get extra training, as well as
Yeah.
probably you had. I know the importance is teaching, and I'm probably sure that you teach and you educate. I know the time and the money spent on equipment.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
try to make people aware, like, if you sit in the chair of a barber, because when I hear barber, I don't hear just clipper. I hear razor and the spray.
Yeah.
It's beyond clippers. And
It's
then the
beyond just
precision of
clippers.
the
Yeah.
cuts, truly. The precision
Yeah.
of the cuts are on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
I won't even try to, like, that ain't my, I
Especially like
mean, I,
in my salon too, I actually go as deep as to, preach about the skincare being like the base of your health for your hair, because where
wow.
does your hair grow from? So if you're not taking care of your skin, your scalp, things that you need for your hair, this haircut is just going to be a temporary 2 week thing, and you might as well just go to somebody who's in their garage doing this. Like a hot
Mm-hmm.
towel, I steam, I treat the skin, I do everything to make sure that not only am I making you look good, but we're going to promote the health of your hair, so that way when you come back, you're going to realize if you go to somebody else that you just made a bad move because I'm going to make sure that your hair is healthy before you walk out the door. And that's like prominent to me. Like it's kind of like how they say doctors say if a healed patient is a lost patient, a lost customer. In my case, bad hair don't bring you back to me. So I have to bring your hair to health for you to come back to me, so you understand what's going on here. Like you come back and your waves spin perfectly and you ain't got to put too much product in it. You don't got to sit up all night with your do-rag on. Or, now you feel your hair's a lot softer, your beard's starting to grow, things like that. And a lot of barbers claim, oh yeah, use this product. You know, it's really more than just a product. It's way more than a product. Even trying to apply the product, people lose translation in how to make some things happen. So it's
Mm-hmm.
really important to, train and learn. And that's what I'm realizing in this day and age, being that this is a microwave kind of, cookie cutter, instant gratification era. A lot of people just skipping right to social media thinking they're going to learn something right there. Like, oh, no, 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 don't do it. Don't do it. Don't skip the training. Go ahead and spend the money and learn it. Like, I mean, learn it, because it's what brings it's pretty much your retention. It's how you people coming back. Like it's nothing to blow through cuts all day and have people spend money with you one time, but to have them people come back to you and keep your books full and keep your pockets laced and everything you need to survive. That's a different game. We playing longevity now. So with that, you have to really invest in yourself, not just financially, but get the knowledge too. Like spend your time, spend your money, and pay attention.
So what would you, I know what's in my head, but it's not what's in my head. If you could tell people how long, what they to build a clientele, because that's one of the questions. Like, people tend to want to build overnight.
hmm
What would you say how long it takes to build a steady clientele?
I feel like, so for me, I'm a snail. Like I feel like social media is a good advocate when it comes time to marketing, but I feel
Mhm.
like you kind of attract the wrong people with social media sometimes, because you don't find people that come to you for a quality cut. They come to you because they seen you on Instagram. And they're like, "Oh, you're popping, da 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 da," and I'm like, "All right, this haircut's gonna look good for this video." When you walk out and dust your forehead off and realize that whole hairline was fake, yeah, you know, I feel like to build a decent clientele, you've got to be seen cutting. And I mean, not just seen about a masses like social media. You have to be seen personally cutting. So where I'm at, I've learned to reach beyond my area, because people that come in, as soon as I tell them my price, they want to walk out the door. But those that actually sit back and like, all right, 45 don't sound like it's going to kill me, they come back. And that's the hard part, trying to get people to break the barriers of what they're going to come out their pockets for. So if you're in the area and you feel like you can, cut for less and you're with the grind, you'll be able to pick up a lot of clientele quickly. But once you start to raise your prices, you start to lose clientele too. So it's all about how you price yourself, your location, the services you're providing. I know for me, my clientele is still building. Again, I've been barbershop to barbershop and I'm finally in my rest haven. And my book is picking up a little bit, but in picking up a little bit, I'm picking up quality clients too. So it could be about anywhere to about a good year or two that you see a steady, trend with your book. And the one thing you got to do is trust the process. Like, if you're putting quality work out there, I mean, I say quality work, like something that, people can't poke holes in. Even if you saw the mistake, the world don't see it kind of, if you're able to put out quality work where someone's like more than gracious to have you and they see your worth. I've got people that tell me if I raise my prices threefold, they'd still come back because of what I do. So when you find people like that, that's hard to find. That's really hard to find, especially as a barber, because for the most part, we cut men. And men are very frugal and very hard to come out their wallet. It's hard. I be wanting to cater my services to women more because women will come and they see what I do. They'll come spend graciously. I just feel like I have other parts of my life that would definitely falter if I had too many women in my shop. But I mean, at the same time, I'm a barbershop and a salon. And I feel like if I take care of the guys, I'll let my ladies take care of the ladies. And we'll keep it separate and cordial. Not to say I can't be professional, I can, but I mean, I just know people in my life, and people in my life wouldn't stand for me to be in front of a woman all day like that. But to definitely get your book up, you want to trust your process, and anywhere from you'll see a difference in your book in about 6 months when you're actually putting out quality work. If you're just getting into this, it's going to take you a while because first you have to the trust. The trust is where it's going to start, and if you don't have the work ethic to gain someone's trust, work on your work ethic first. Not just coming to work, not just being seen, but actually putting the time into making a quality cut that someone's going to want to come back for. You know, and you have to be a relationship builder because this is all relationships. You have to be you have to be, you can't be the guy sitting in the chair on your phone like, yeah, I do appointments all day. You can't be. Somebody walks in the door and they got a demand. You have to be willing to meet that demand. When you get to the point when you start picking and choosing your clients, that's when your quality gets there and your price starts getting there. But I feel if you have a steady book, anywhere from about 6 months to about a year and a half, that's after you're putting out quality work.
So there's a thing that's happening in not just barbering, I'm gonna say in the industry of hair, cosmetology, barbering, aesthetics, fashion. We all kind of fall under an umbrella.
Yeah.
You piggybacked on, that people need to invest in those classes.
Mm-hmm.
So have you ever worked in a corporate or franchise place?
No, I haven't. Actually, I remember going to school and coming out, graduating. We had Sports Clip coming to get us. And that was like the franchise that was coming. And I mean, I went to cosmetology school, but I knew I've been cutting hair. So I was only going to get my cosmetology license to cut hair. And I was hoping Sports Clip would pick me up, but Sports Clip had a different, I don't want to say gimmick. They had a different way of marketing themselves pretty much. If you go into their places, it's mostly women that cut hair. It's like the Hooters of barbershops to me.
The Hooters, it is.
Yeah. Like you have to look the part. And the part they want you to look is this attractive woman that if you even mess up a haircut, it's okay, baby. Do it again,
So with what is happening now in the industry, people are getting their licenses. They're getting licensed. People don't understand that portion that you stated where they need to invest in the
Yeah.
training and stuff like that. Like I tell people, you go to school to get your license. That's
You
it.
go to
Like
school to get your license. Yeah. If there's something you want to learn particularly to do, you're gonna have to pay someone to teach you to do that, or find someone who's willing to, that let you shadow. But for the most
that you
part,
shadow
money
them.
talks. Yeah.
So so what advice would you give barbers or even hairstylists? Like, okay, I'm new, I'm out of school, I don't have a clientele, I'm not an expert at anything. What would you tell a barber?
I would tell a barber, when you're not cutting, and it's going to be a lot of not cutting, you either need to be shadowing someone in there who's cutting, or you need to be working on your marketing, because those are the two things that's going to drive your business. You learning how to get this cut right, and you going out here getting these clients. Every new barber that comes in the game thinks, oh, a barber shop. Like my shop is a year, it's about to be a year coming up this May. We've been open. And walk-ins are so, they're plentiful, but the people that actually stop in and get their hair cut, is the ratio of people that come in versus get their actual haircut. I'm gonna say at least one out of every five person that come in my door, they get their haircut. That's a walk-in. So me marketing, I market to people outside of my area for that reason, because I understand what the economic thing is around my area. For the most part, it's apartments. It's a lot of Section 8 people. So a lot of people aren't thinking $45 is worth a haircut, especially when there's a barbershop up the street that's charging 25, you know? So you have to know how to market to everyone. And then in marketing to everyone, I would say, because at the same time while you're doing this, you want to cut as much as you can, but you don't want to have to take everyone's energy with you. I'm a big believer in protecting your peace. And you'll bump into people that, they're not with they're not with who you are, pretty much. You can be a level-headed individual trying to make a living, and you got some people out here that just want their quick, fast, and in a hurry type thing, and they don't care about you or nothing. They just want to come in, get their hair cut, and go. And you'll find yourself clashing with clients trying to build your book. You need to learn how to market and who to market to. So you got to find your niche, which is, in your craft. What is it that you do and that you excel at? You should ground pound that. And while you're doing that, definitely hit, as many different streams of marketing you can, whether it's social media, whether you're doing cold calls, whether you actually walking door to door business cards, whether you're standing outside handing out business cards, whatever you got to do to be seen, you need to do that. But sitting down at any point other than eating, it's not going to win the game.
So with social media, and we kind of hit just a tad bit before we started airing live. With the social media, do you have a concern because there are so many people that are demoing things via social media? I have a concern because I'm like, it ain't just that simple.
It's not that simple. Yeah,
it's not that simple. Like, to see you take a boulder and go around the back and sides, and then all of a sudden you jump to a one and you fade it in. I ain't seen nothing in between.
Nothing in between.
I don't know what you got going on. I don't know how. My drop fade, look, my drop fade done turned into a high and tight. Yeah. I don't see no shadow. I don't see no drop fade in between. Now I got skin all the way up here, and I'm trying to do what I think you're doing, and it's a thought. So what would your advice be to people that just think they can get this automatic training, just this free? I'm gonna say this again, this free automatic training. I'm using the word free for a reason, because I'm a firm believer we get what we pay for. That's just me
definitely get what you pay for.
And outside of where I work, prior to that, even while I have been on my job, I have invested in training, even some training that I may not have liked the razor cut, but I appreciated the business outline on what people have truly done. So what would your advice be to people, with that? Like, You know, I'm
So,
watching Faded, right? Faded showing me different clips
uh-huh.
in 15 minutes. Faded ain't showed me the whole
Oh,
thing.
cut in 15
And
minutes.
so
Yeah,
I don't
no.
went from a drop. You got to drop fade. You done gave your clients a drop fade. And I done gave them a throwback military cut.
Yeah. So
Cause
when it
you know
comes
it's
to,
done happened.
no, I know, I completely know.
You know
Um,
it's done happened though.
when I was learning how to drop fade, you know, I followed somebody's 15-minute video and it turned out to be just like that. Like, oh wait, all right, I missed something. So, but again, I feel like first and foremost, with training, you got to start with the notion. Don't be afraid to mess up. You're gonna mess up. You have to mess up. It's part of the learning curve. It's part of
Okay.
the learning curve. I just feel like don't mess up on the job because people are watching. Don't mess up on the job
But
because
the
people are watching.
videos though.
I know. So when I was going to school, I had been cutting for a while, but I'm learning different things in school about how the shears work, the thinning shears work, how to actually use my guards. I'm in the barbershop. They're showing me tricks on how to enhance, you know, small little things to get things done. I didn't even know how to use a razor before I got to a shop. So I'm going to school, and I remember watching all these Facebook videos, Instagram videos, and I'm looking at how they're setting them up, and I've got the dynamic in my head to how to fade a little bit, but they're not showing you the in-between stuff. So I started going to YouTube for those same people I was watching, and some of them actually had whole haircuts where we're sitting there for an hour and a half, and he's walking you through the cut. Like, all right, so right here, do this. Right here, do this. So I try to find as much of that as I possibly could. And I remember within like the first 3 weeks, there was a guy named Blendino I was following. He don't know me, but shout out if he's ever watching this, because I mean, you saved me as a young barber. And I'm watching him do the cleanest fades. I'm like, wow. So once I got the practical application of how to set my guidelines up and how to get the clippers to move through each guideline, it was just practice from there. And it took it took me about a good 2 months to perfect my fade, but that's because at that point the drop fade had just came out. I'm on my way to and from school. I'm taking the bus every day to going back and forth to school. When I'm coming home from work, you know, I'm going to work after school. When I get to work, I've got fresh heads waiting. And the drop fade was this new thing that I was just learning. And I was like, all right, bet I've been watching video after video after video after video. And at the client, I didn't care if the client wanted the drop fade or not. I was doing it just to practice it. 2 months later, I had that thing down packed. And the funny part is, no one in the shop was doing the drop fade yet. They're like, yo, they call me Gucci in the shop. Yo, Gucci, you snapping. How'd you do that? I'm like, first, you do it like this. Then you do it like this. Then you 15-minute video. They was mad. Like, wait, how'd you do that? All right, sit back. I'm gonna show everybody what I because and I love the one thing, first and foremost, as a young barber trying to get into the field, make sure wherever you go, whatever establishment you go to, that no one's stingy with knowledge. Because we're all here to win.
Hold on. Yeah, I think you need to repeat that one more again. Well. Because I think you need, and I think you need to say that slowly.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to
So
say that slowly.
as a young barber, stylist, whatever you care to be, going into any establishment that you want to work for, make sure that the people around you are willing to share knowledge because it's nothing like being in an environment where everyone is preying on your downfall. And that's what they're doing by not sharing knowledge.
So don't be, I don't want to say I don't want you to see it. You say make sure no one is what with knowledge?
Stingy with their knowledge. Make sure that they're willing to share. Make sure they're willing to share. You'll have people that you'll stand over in the shadow just to watch, you know, because you'll learn techniques as you're seeing things happen, you know. And some people are like, I don't want you around me learning my stuff. Da 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 da. I don't want you potentially taking my client. And when you get into a shop, it's really a team event. If one person's winning, everyone's winning. There's no star on this team. Like we're
If they
all
knew
in this
like we knew,
together.
we don't want their clients.
Yeah. Like I mean, you got clients that are coming to the shop for one person, and I've been in shops where I've been last seat, and people like they'll come in wanting one guy, and the one guy I'm watching them just not be there. I'm like, look, I'm here if you need me, and I don't want to take your client, but I do want to service you. Like I want to at least be seen as a contender out here first and foremost. That's all it. It's my ego at this point. I just want to be a contender as well. Like even if you don't choose me to cut your hair again, I want to know that you feel comfortable enough that when you see me in this shop, you'll sit down, if I'm a backup option, and I don't mind being a backup option. I hate being the backup option to fix stuff. That's annoying, but we'll talk about that in a whole other episode. But I want to be a contender too. So, first and foremost, be seen, but make sure you're in a shop where sharing is like, you know, the motto. We're I remember shops we would call the clients our hoes. We were the pimps. We just tossed them back and forward. Like, that's yours today, but you're gonna be mine tomorrow, and you're not gonna be mine next week, but you're gonna come back around. And in that shop, it fostered a camaraderie amongst us to, make sure that, he can sit down in every chair and get the same service by all of us, which helped us all grow. And I'm still friends with them same people from the first shop. 3 or 4 of us got our own shops now. And even when I'm doing stuff that they're not doing, I'm showing them stuff that I'm doing. Like, yo, you got to come show me that sometime. No problem, dog. Got you. I got you. I could turn a pot of boiling water into a $75 service for you. Believe me, it could be done. That I'm not Jesus. I'm not turning it to wine. I'm just gonna turn it into a little bit of money. That's all. Heat it up, make it do what it do. Send you on your way, and you're gonna love it.
I want to commend you because the reason why you said some things that I think a lot of people in the industry, barbers, hairstylists, estheticians, makeup artists, fashion apparel people, just anybody dealing with that form of the industry, I think we need to kind of pause and just.
If you notice,
I want to
actually got
commend
my own brand on here to do this whole
Hold
thing.
on,
So
you got to tell people your brand now because I'm an advocate for showing people the brand.
I got a whole brand called Garden State Gold. It's on social media right now. I'm still working on the development of like the website and everything. It's been something
It
in the
looks
process.
good. We gonna and so somebody gonna. I'm gonna buy some because I said I'm gonna have to buy some now because I done said it. If I say I'm gonna buy some, people know me. Know I'm gonna buy it. I may buy the cheapest thing on the menu, but I'm gonna buy something.
Hey,
just
buy
so
something.
I know that I did what I said I could do. But
yeah.
Hold on. See, he done took it to a whole nother level. So we're going to talk about his whole nother level in a minute because we're going to talk about his another level. We're going to hold that thought on his brand because he done took it to a whole nother level. But he's showing people that he's solely not relying on one stream of income. And I think that's a disadvantage that a lot of us truly focus on.
A lot of us do.
A lot of people in general, we focus on one stream of income. The average millionaire actually has 7, well, in this day and time, about 8 streams of income. So if you ain't hitting about 4.5 or 5 streams of income, you need to be building your income up. That's just how
you need to be.
I truly look at it. But before we get on this brand thing, and I want you to tag me in your apparel. I want you to tag me in everything you do because I want to be able to share that with other people. And I'm gonna tell you that before. I'm not trying to get off subject, but I want you to tell me because also I am becoming more of a community, part of a community of people that supports that type of stuff.
Likewise,
and so
like
people want to know who's doing what, and people truly, like, there are so many people that are truly supportive on so different aspects. Like,
exactly, like
I didn't even know, you get what I'm saying? So, you just didn't open up like the brain waves on so many different levels. Like, you're like challenging people, but we need to challenge. So before we get to this brand apparel,
gotcha.
In today's time, you talk to people about the they need to be marketed. You did talk to us about marketing. And you broke down marketing to a whole nother level. You talked about social media, but you mentioned to people about door-to-door and cold calling. I'm not being funny, but people under a certain age don't even understand what cold calling
what that means. Yeah. They don't understand what it means. They don't know what it means to actually get on the phone and have somebody hang up in your ear because they don't know who you are because, you're just not a number that pops up in their phone. You're going to have to get rejected. You're going to have, one thing I learned about marketing is when you display yourself in front of 100 people, you should get a take back of 10%, which is like a 1 in 10 chance of actually getting somebody. But do it because you're going to need that 1 in 10 person to come back. You're going to need that. And solely relying on people to see your page and da da da. Nah, sometimes people don't even want to do social media. You got a lot of people out here that do stay away from it, and they much rather you be personal. And I've realized this new generation of people don't like to talk. It seems
But they're not part of the talking era.
they're not part of the talking era. They text me, don't call me. What are you talking about? I'm like, hey, that's a phone. The invention of the phone was to call you. Like all this new stuff is just an added feature. Yeah, but a rotary dialer, it took you like 3 minutes to dial somebody's phone number, and you sat there rotary dialing this phone number. Telling me to text
So,
me.
so with the marketing, because you did
Mm-hmm.
elaborate on the marketing and you did elaborate on the importance of investing in the training. Also, something that people in our industry don't understand. We don't understand how or what to do with our money when we make our money.
Yes. I like to reinvest my money into other endeavors because I feel like a dollar not moving is a wasted dollar. Like you can spend it and it'll stop there, but you can turn your money into money. Like it's pretty much like every dollar is an employee for you. So you have to find a way to employ each dollar so that way this doesn't stop with a haircut or a purchase. Like all that needs to be reinvested back. And when you start getting like dividends and like, small things back on everything you put into it, that's when you start spending your money pretty much. Like you got your bills, you got your living expenses and stuff like that. Yeah. But before you go out here splurging on clothes and, you know, being financially illiterate with your money, learn to put it to use before you do anything.
If it was something different that you would want to occur in the industry, what would it be?
Something different that I would want to occur in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like your license, hmm, that's a lot, actually. I feel like you should be trained in all aspects of cosmetology. Cosmetology. I mean, and I say cosmetology, not just being a cosmetologist, but you need to learn how to market. You need to learn how to manage your finances. You need to learn about these products. You got people out here just using all sorts of the wrong things, thinking they're getting certain results. I'm just like, I think cosmetology should be a lot more expansive than what they're giving it. They're just making sure you're prepared for a legal suit if you mess up, which in case scenario you should be. But then again, that's like these kids who go to school to graduate from high school and not know the law. Like, but you've been alive now for like 17 years and you got to walk these streets every day. Jaywalking is illegal. They never covered that in school though. It's kind of a setup. They kind of set you out here, then you have to go learn the law. So, oh, you have to learn this. I'm like, they should have been teaching you this the entire time. And I feel like you're not going to find that in school. So you have to find yourself around people who are driven to learn different things. And collectively, you all will learn. Like my one shop where I came from, my partner, G's, he, uh, he was really big on getting credit together. He opened his own little credit business where he was helping people get their credit straight off of just looking at their he would just give you advice based on your Credit Karma account. He would tell you, all right, you don't have a certain amount of mix, you don't have this, you don't have that. He'd let you know how to even start getting your credit score together. And I remember every Monday we'd be in the shop and it'd be slow. He'd have all these seminars on YouTube just going off and all this motivational speaking. I called it Motivation Mondays. I started paying attention because I'm realizing as a barber, this equipment costs. It costs a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can save my money and decide whether I'm going to pay rent or buy clippers, or I can learn the power of my credit, and how I need to fix that, and how I can put my credit to use. So now I've got the clippers I need, and it's not taking me forever to get the clippers, but I now have a plan on paying it back. Therefore, I'm not only building my credit, I'm also supplying myself everything I need, and the return is greater as long as I'm building clientele. I'm able to pay this credit, repeat use of credit, it puts me in better situations. Now I know how to even manage my income to where I know how to budget for a house, because now I don't get a W-2. So my proof of income is pretty much everything I'm bringing in over here. I'm learning how to operate my own business, and then turn around and get yourself an LLC just for yourself in the shop, being a contractor. Now you can get into business credit and all sorts of other things. And you have access to resources that you never thought were there. You know, it's stuff they don't teach us, but you learn it as you go along. So I feel like, you know, diversify. When I say diversify, like put yourself in a position where you're learning from everyone around you. That's why I think the shop is very important. And I feel like everyone in the shop, when it even comes down to talent, what they do to make their money doesn't just, it shouldn't just be what's coming out of that chair. I've seen real estate agents cut next to me. Now I'm learning how
Mm-hmm.
to find properties and all sorts of stuff. And I feel like the shop is really big for that, especially because not even just the people next to you wanting to learn stuff or learning stuff. You got clients that walk all sorts of walks of life. They're there, and being able to communicate with them. I pick all their brains, from the OnlyFans models to people in Congress, whoever. Everyone has something to teach you, and everyone has something to convey. So again, relationship building is very important when you're in the shop. And this is why you get a piece of every part of life while you're doing your job. Not many jobs where you get to meet every kind of person.
I want to commemorate you on that, because you have the mindset to where you truly understand the importance of networking. You understand the importance of meeting and dealing with different type of people. You
Mm-hmm.
understand the importance of the training and the craft of which we're in. You elaborated on a few different subjects, and clearly you truly understand the importance of being available to be accessible on also different platforms, and that also assists in marketing. And I commemorate you, and I thank you for acknowledging the fact that we can become so too dependent on what we think we see on
Yeah.
a direct video, and we truly need to invest. People truly need to invest in that actual training. So talk to us about your brand, about your clothing brand, what it is, where can they find it, where can they locate it? Like, talk to us about that. And what was the motivation behind
So, of course, we all got our life. We walk different walks. So, Garden State Gold was something I created some years back. Actually, in New Jersey, we just went legal with marijuana. I want to say around 2020, 2021, right before COVID, or right at the beginning of COVID, I think. Yeah.
that?
So I was really into making products, THC products. Like I had learned how to make THC oil and a bunch of things that I've seen on these streets. And I'm like, wow, my dad had left me in a nice little hefty investment, not investment, when he dies and he gives you the money, but I can't think of the word. Why did that just escape me so fast? Inheritance. Thank
Inheritance.
you. Thank you. Inheritance. He left me a nice little inheritance, and I invested in some equipment, and I learned how to do some things. And I was gonna start going to get my little uh my license so I can like either be a manufacturer, or I was trying to open a dispensary. I had some things I wanted to do with it, and I was watching how New Jersey was moving about the licensing procedure. And I kind of disagreed with how they were going about it. It just seemed like if you had the multi-billion-dollar deal, you would get all the licensing, but they would keep all the money for the applications. And I didn't want my application fee to be in vain. So I created this logo for my product. And when I saw it, I put it on a shirt. And from that moment, I'm like, oh, I can't sell my products under that because I don't want to. I don't want to jeopardize a good name. So I started putting it on clothes, and I've been selling T-shirts, jackets, hoodies, sweatsuits. I just put it on there, and I felt like I made an identity for New Jersey. Like, not to say that we don't have our own identity, but we don't got a basketball team no more. We don't have the Nets. We don't have a professional baseball team. Uh, our professional football teams are all New York or Philly. Like Jersey really kind of relies on surrounding states to have things going for us to have some kind of like, real staple. So I figured, I create something that can stand out. So, people that come in the shop, it's funny because I live 20 minutes from Philly, and I have so many people that come in from my shop from Philly, and they see my little stuff hanging around on the shop on the walls and everything. Oh, that's so hard, but I can't wear it because I'm from Philly. No, I don't feel that way, baby. Just adapt. It's cool. We're one of you, just like you. You just came over here and got something that's really nice. That's all. But it started one way and it just turned into something else. And I guess being an entrepreneur, learning when to pivot is very important because sometimes sometimes you're hell bent on your idea, but then you get into the business of business, and you realize that sometimes our ideas can be emotional that we hold on to them. Sometimes rebranding is never a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Sometimes refocusing what we're going to do with our business isn't a bad thing. Like I've learned that in business you're here to make money. That's what business is. You're here to make money. So if your idea is great, it's great. But if you don't see your idea moving as fast as you want to, also accommodate the influx of money. Like if you see that your product isn't moving in a certain geograph, but you see that certain people are buying it, then you market there. You market everywhere, but you make sure you market where the money's coming in at, because that's where you want to make sure you draw your income from. Because at the end of the day, business is about income. You have to make sure it's coming in, because if it's not, you'll be going out.
So if you had something inspiring to give to a barber or anybody in the industry, what would that inspiring word be?
First and foremost, keep pushing. Always keep pushing. You're gonna bump into these situations where it's gonna be so many brick walls in front of you, and it's not so much the brick walls; they're learning curves. You just gotta learn when you get there. It's not like you're gonna plow through this and you're gonna be the best overnight. There's some people that can do it. There's some people that a lot of us can't. Just make sure that at every time you feel like you're getting ready to fail, you don't stop. You don't stop. A, B, think before you act. Definitely think before you act, because you got a lot of people that just jump into this field because they see it to be an easy way to make money, make friends. Now you have to really have an approach with this. You have to know you have to know who you're going to appeal to before you get there, because you'll try to appeal to everybody and come to find out no one wants to deal with you. So you have to find your approach. So take the time and think about, what it is that you bring to the table and what it is that you can do, and the people that you attract. I say the people you attract because that's where your money's going to come from. People you attract.
Wow. And if you could give people your information and where you're located, or how they could reach out to your barbershop or for your clothing apparel line or for any type of services that you offer, tell them, give everybody your info now, please.
All right. The name of my barbershop is Faded. FAD3D. It's located 103 Blackwood Clementon Road, Suite C, Lindenwold, New Jersey, 08021. You can find me on Instagram mostly, at the Lofty Groomer. That's my personal That's my personal page, but a lot of my barber work goes up there. My barbershop page is at F_A_D_3_D. So Faded, just a bunch of underscores to space it out. And my clothing line is Garden State Gold. My clothing line, I'm still working on it, so please bear with me. It's still under construction, but we're working on it. If you need to call me on my shop line anytime. The phone number is 1-844-950-9111. You can find me on Facebook at Faded, FA or F_A_D_3_D, or you can just say what is it? Facebook.com, get faded. Make sure you use the 3 though, because it's very important. We have a podcast too that we I do a lot of things. I do a lot of things.
But at least I knew about the podcast, so at least I was paying attention.
We're on Instagram too for the podcast at Chopping Up. It's at CH0PP1NUP, because a lot of people took my name before I got there. But we're chopping it up at Faded. We try to air every Tuesday. We've been kind of on a hiatus for the past couple of weeks, trying to get some equipment together, move some stuff around. People got schedules. Got a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on. So I try to make sure I keep myself diverse because, you know, at the end of the day, something's gonna pop. And when that one thing pop, everything else is gonna pop with it. So, you know, just keep trucking, keep doing what you're doing, and you know, stay inspired.
And I can
Andy,
bother you in the future.
yeah, definitely. Yes, you can definitely bother me in the future. I was actually nervous before I got up here. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Kids in
Well,
the house.
this is already what you do though.
No, I'm not worried about this part. What I do, it was just trying to find the second to do it because I know once I get in the door, I personally have a lot of kids, and they uh they like my time. So I was trying to find a way to separate, but I was like, cool, if we do this, cause I guess it's 9:49 Eastern Standard Time. So we started 8 p.m. your time, which is 9 o'clock my time, which is perfect. So 8:30, they're going to bed. I'm like, yes, let me go run to the
And we
car
can
before some.
always maneuver. And listen, we can always maneuver around your time. I just try to let people know what time zone I'm on.
Yeah.
Because I messed up like more than once, and I didn't tell people my time zone.
So they were tuning in the
And
wrong
I'm just
time.
trying to make it a point to just kind of let people know like my time zone. And
Yeah.
if it's something that doesn't work, like my thing is let me know what works, and we can figure something out. Listen, I want to thank you, and I'm gonna tell you something else. I thank you. You encouraged the dreadlocks, and I thank you for that also.
You know what's
And
funny? Because I'm actually kind of tired of my dreadlocks. I want to go ahead and get my waves back, but people always say I'm
but even if you get
inspirational.
your ways back, you know, I want to thank you for the locks because we come up in a society where if you would have bagged up 20, 30 years ago, and you know this because we're around like the same age, I still got you beat by a few years, but we know like on a professional level, that was like
They wasn't allowing it. They wasn't
not
allowing us
frowned
to do
upon.
it. Yeah,
And now when we got people who are on TV in dashikis and their dreadlocks and
it
whatever it is,
makes us look
you
like
know,
us.
it makes a
We look like
difference.
us.
And so I do want to thank you for that and commemorate you on that for your platform, for your barbershop, and for what you're doing. Because I went and I checked out some stuff. So when I tell you, I truly appreciate that. I appreciate that moving on a whole nother level. You know, you're setting a standard on a way that I don't think that you truly understand, and but it's on a good manner, and that is truly commemorated. The only thing
Thank
I
you.
ask, tag me in your stuff. I'm gonna do my best to put it out there because you got some great things going on. I appreciate you taking your time because I do understand you in New Jersey. You're on a whole nother time zone. You got some great stuff going on. And please keep us encouraged. Thank
I
you.
will definitely. Thank you. I appreciate you for being encouraged because I feel like I'll do it at the level I'm doing it at. But a lot of people just don't think I'm doing it at that level because they're not paying attention. But it's nice to see that someone's noticing that hey, this guy's doing exactly what he said he'd do. Not even
You're
just that,
doing it.
he's inspirational to so many people. So,
And
and
you're
that's what I
doing it.
really aim to be.
And you're on a whole nother level. And like I say, you're on a level you're on a great hiatus. You say hiatus, so you're on a great level. I just hope that hopefully we can connect over the next couple of months because I'm working on something a little bit bigger to where to try to connect more people in the business industry that truly
Hmm.
understands what it's like to truly build. And I would really love for you to be a part of that if possible.
Oh, definitely. Matter of fact, I mean, you want to put me on once every 2 weeks, every once a month, whatever. You let me know. I'm game for it.
All right, you done signed up for it, so I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna sign up. You're gonna you're gonna catch your show on a couple platforms. Don't you worry.
I appreciate you so much, and I know your time is important. I will be in contact, but thank you, thank you, thank you. This is such an honor,
Welcome,
but I
welcome,
do thank
welcome.
you so much for the opportunity, okay?
And thank you. I thank you for the opportunity myself, man.
Thank you. Good night, and you take care of those babies, okay?
Will do, man. You take care, all right?
All right.